Since your love, you have come for system, just accept that regardless of how you belong, we belong to God simply because of not accepting our belongingness to God, we will have to suffer. There is no doubt about this. If at each and every place you will take birth, die and suffer, once the relationship with God is accepted, then be joyful. There is no need to do anything else. If you embrace God, then God is happy and sons are also happy. Everyone contains, no one can be upset because we are not grabbing somebody else's pride. But taking what is rightfully ours, there is no sweat in accepting God, no fee, no learning, no reading, no memorization, and no qualification. There is nothing in this material world that belongs to us. Understand this, and God belongs to this, and God belongs to us except this. Nothing belongs to us in this material world. You can doubt this plenty. Everything will be accepted. But God belongs to us. No doubts in this will be accepted. This has to be embraced initially. The material world is comprehended and God is accepted. Afterwards, God doesn't remain merely accepted but becomes tangible. God constantly gazes at you like a mother gets delighted when her child calls you mom. Mom. Similarly, when you call out that God belongs to you, God gets utterly delighted. You are a fragment of the Lord. You must remember this at all times. I keep on repeating this because I have developed a particular regard for it only in recent years. I was not aware of its importance initially. For example, a daughter of your house after marriage belongs to the house where she got married. Similarly, you must also embrace your belonging to God's house. Accept that you are not a master anymore. We are not without a master. Unlike the white beast, we belong to God. Instead, you will belong. Instead, indeed, you all belong to God forever. You may or may not know. You may or may not accept. Simply transform your sentiment. If you wish to experience God, then you must not regard yourself as a woman or a man. Affirm your relationship with God that I belong to God. If you embrace your belongingness to God, then it is a tremendous achievement. If you affirm yourself as a woman or a man, then how will you achieve God's position? If you affirm yourself as a woman, then you will only achieve a man, but not God. Affirmation of one's womanhood or manhood is also a hindrance in qualification. The distinction between a woman and a man is necessary for worldly customs and behavior. If you have embraced yourself as a physical body, then how will you experience God? Your inner sentiment only must transform that I belong to God. God's relation is such, it slashes all other phony relationships. You may be a sinner, but even then, you are with God. Goodness and wrongdoings don't even touch you. You belong to God, and God belongs to you. If you forget this, Even then, this truth is as it is. Forgetting and not forgetting is in the mind only. We have held the inert body, material world, so it attracts you towards itself. If you disregard its relationship, then it will not attract. If you accept your relationship with God, then change of personal lives will depart. I belong to God. This is not a fact to ponder upon, but rather should be acknowledged. To trust to His word only. What is in it to ponder? If the mind is free of desires, attachment, aversion, but without any sentiment or belongingness towards God, then liberation will be attained, but God will not be experienced. Whereas there is desire, attachment, aversion in the mind, but the feeling of belongingness towards God is present, then God will be experienced. It means that impeccability is related to liberation, but belongingness is related to God. Surya was divorced, but he accepted that God is belonged to him. The sentiment of belongingness is the most beloved to God. राम जी केवल प्रेम प्यारा. The relationship of belongingness with God is an essential cause in awakening eternal love. God is neither a man, nor a woman, nor a neutral, but state. He is everything. That's why you can accept him as a father or a mother. Whatever relationship you want to embrace with God, God is ready to accept it. By accepting the relationship, the sentiment of belongingness develops. The sooner God is attained by belongingness cannot be attained through exercise. The case relationship that your son has with you, a similar relationship a servant does not have. A servant is related due to work and profession, but a son is not related by work and profession. When the servant works well, you get satisfied. But even if the son is illiterate or inept, even then he has full right over his father's property. If you perform activities, then you become a servant. But if you establish belongingness with God, then you become a son. You must try and remember that we are a fragment of God, whom no one can be equivalent to. Then how can anyone be greater than Him? So you must not get afraid of material illusions. We belong to God. By remembering this, you will inherently acquire strength. We are not amorphous. We have a Lord. Remember this. Just because of not remembering God, you got disappointed and disheartened. Will the Lord employ His strength for Himself? Like a mother's milk is for her child and not for the mother herself. Similarly, God's strength is for us. Being a fragment of God, we are not feeble. However we belong to God. We are universe son, not a son. We belong to God. Then why should we worry? He who does not belong to God should worry. Nothing except God is mine. Accept this and you will be greatly benefited. There is nothing more joyous and blissful than this. This is the essence of all Shastra and teachings of all Sant Mahatmas. Chanting the Lord's name, bhajan, kirtan, etc. are not required. You may or may not have to solve the mind, but and they accept this much that there is nothing else except God which belongs to us. How is the Lord? We are not interested in that. However He is. He is ours. The protector of countless universes, that Paramatma is our Father. Then for what should we worry? If you accept that God is mine, I belong to God, then there will be a tremendous transformation in you. You will become carefree and fearless. Accept that God belongs to you and all your work is done. Not even a fraction of a task will be left for you to do. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Meditative Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, etc. Nothing will be left. The striver or sarka will become complete with all objectives achieved, all knowledge earned, and all desires fulfilled. He who is the guardian of all countless cosmos, that God is mine. If this is accepted, then what else is left and how is it left? The essence of love is belongingness. For those who are dear to us, we naturally tend to remember them. We remember our life, we remember our wife, son, daughter, because we love them. We have accepted our belongingness to them. If you want to love God, accept that He belongs to you, then you will naturally remember Him without any effort. Whatever you start liking, the mind automatically goes toward it. God is mine. The power that lies within this is not there in renunciation and austerities. Each and every soul is a child of God. 8.4 billion forms of bodies and other bodily forms such as deities, fiends, demons, ghosts, clouds, etc. are also God's children. If you just accept that we are God's child, then what stops you? Only once you accept it, then most of your work is done. The state that is not achieved even after years of sadhana, you will be attained just by accepting this. We belong to God. We have been blessed with this incredible truth. Now, what else do we require? We just don't forget our belongingness to God. Then everything will become alright. We will experience Chetan Amal Sahaj Sukha Rashi. We wouldn't be required to perform sadhana. It will happen naturally. We belong to God. If we remember this truth, then impurities will not come close. They will run away. But if we forget this, then we will get surrounded by impurities. We belong to God by accepting this. All of you can become a saint. Wherever you are, no one can interrupt you from this. Now we belong to God, accept so, and immediately become carefree, fearless, calm, and very rich. For instance, a son naturally, without even any education, has complete ownership over his father's property. Similarly, because of your belongingness to God, you will naturally inherit properties of God. When we look at the Mahabharata, we notice that the Lord presented the Pandavas with both favorable and unfavorable conditions with plenty. But it was incredible of the Pandavas that they never disrespected the Lord. Among the Pandavas, Bhimasen had a big mouth, but even he never spoke against the Lord. Such should be the Lord's admirers. Whereas Duryodhana never developed any admiration for the Lord. He considered the Lord a clever and astute man. The Pandavas were incredible in the fact that even when conditions moved against their will, they will they still consider that the Lord belonged to them. Similarly, in situations happening against our will, we should still see that the Lord belongs to us. Numerous things are taught concerning God, but those who wish to attain liberation should not dwell on God. How is God? How not is He? The truth that believers' liberation is there is a God, and how He is ours. The foremost thing is we have a Lord. We are not all things. This truth should be firmly accepted. The most promising technique to experience God realization is I belong to God, my intellect belongs to nature. Therefore, if the mind intellect is unsettled, then that's nature's problem. As I belong to God, as God is immortal, so I am also immortal. Since God never dies, then how can I die? That's why the saints have spoken. राम बड़ी तो मैं मरूं नहीं तो मरे भलाई अविनाशी का बालक हूँ ये न मारा जाए। I belong to God, God belongs to me. This truth is greater than chanting the Lord's name or God's remembrance. This is true devotion. Indeed, only He is devotee. Who belongs to God? He who belongs to God is not an ordinary person. The material person is ordinary. Objects and actions are related to this world. We are no way related to them. While performing any action, remember that I belong to God. Then in what way should I perform this duty? Intuition will naturally emerge within your mind. If you will love the Lord with an innocent heart, then in what way you should be devoted? This will naturally occur within your mind. God is mind. This is a Genesis 1 down. Thou doesn't arise from renunciation, austerity, etc., but from belongingness towards the Lord. This truth is profound. After many years of believing this course, I became aware of this truth. Whatever belongs to us naturally becomes dear to us. We belong to God, God belongs to us. This is no ordinary truth. Such devotion is of high status. This is no ordinary truth. Such devotion is of high status. There is no sadhana equivalent to it. We belong to God. God belongs to us. We have become aware of this. Now, why will we take another path? Most conclusive and the sense of all is the fact that only God is ours, except Him, no one else is ours. God is not present with us, except Him, no one else stays with us forever. If we accept this truth, then it is a greatly benefiting. What comes and goes never belongs to us, but God is always present with us. He never departs. This is the essence of all the Shastras, Puranas, and Vedas. So behave with love with everyone, serve everyone, respect everyone, and honor everyone. But in your heart, don't consider anyone yours. Within your heart, consider only God as yours. If you acknowledge others as yours, then one day you will have to wait to serve everyone is ours. But for ourselves, no one is ours. For ourselves, only God is ours. You may consider God as Saguna, Nirguna, Sakar, Nirakar, Shishak, whatever you believe, but He is ours. What I have told you is the essence which is not heard everywhere. If you say in front of Yamraja, the deity of death, also that I belong to God, then even Yamraja will shiver. If you accept your relationship with God, then purity and piousness will naturally come to you. We belong to God, God belongs to us. By merely uttering this, you will become pure naturally. We might be a disobedient child, but even then we belong to God. We just have to eradicate our disobedience. Sadhana that happens by the worship of the body, that sadhana will not valuable from within body's mind, the value that this have. It's not there in chanting, etc., performed by the body. A chaste wife doesn't say her husband's name, but does that diminish her love for her husband? Among hundreds of men, she finds only her husband as hers. नहीं रटे तो का भया घटिया न चाहिए जैसे आज सुहागनी पति को नाम न ले. Being a fragment of God, you are one with God, the body is one with the material world. If the body does not appear as ours, then Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, all they will become effortless. Even after these many years of session, if we don't accept that the body belongs to the world and they belong to God, then what have we done? High talks like a Pandit student selfish. It is a profound truth. It is a profound truth that till God is not realized, until then developing a relationship with anyone is dangerous. When you haven't become free from existing relations, then why do you develop new relationships? All relationships have already become tough for you to be. Then what will your condition be if you develop new relationships? It will be an utter disaster. Formulating a relationship with anyone is a cause for downfall. Jad Bharat developed a relationship with a deer, so he had to take a deer form. The word sambandha, relationship, only means bondage in an excellent manner, in a great way. Formulation of a new relationship is a new danger. A man asked another, if I hold the tail of this mare, then what will you give me? The other replied that the mare herself will give it to you. She will kick you so hard that you will die. It is required of us, driver of Sarka, that we must not prevent the relationship with anyone. Whatever relationships exist, they are also not broken. Then why formulate new ones? The relationship with the material world is obstacle. This truth is extremely rare. If you are